This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another on-time episode.
Right on time.
Of the Only Friends podcast. We're here popping at, the usual start time of 2:49, as we always advertise for. Reminds me, I forgot to even put it out on Twitter. Fuck me. Not doing your job, man. You had one job. We got an almost full cast here today. We're just missing Chin. Welcome back, Landon.
Thank you. Good to be back.
How do you like that?
I was processing me actually being back in this place and the other non-person here is not here yet. For a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Maybe for
I don't know how I feel about this shop. We're going to take it.
It's a good looking shot.
It makes your arms look really long.
The camera definitely should be higher.
I do have some long ass arms. Yeah.
It's
giving
you a weird, it's giving a little bit of a weird perspective. The camera probably should be higher because you're a very tall man.
I am a tall man.
But this is where we're at today.
Yeah. So the flight that I got was supposed to land at 1:16, and then I was trying to get my stuff and be in the Uber on the way over here by like 1:45. But then there was a delay. So when the delay happened, I got here later. So here we are. How we doing?
The people don't like your choice
got
of
here right on
clothing
time.
today.
Huh?
The people don't like your choice of clothing today.
My choice of clothing?
Yeah, they've only seen you in a towel recently, so
Oh.
I think that's what you have to go by now.
No, I said that the only time that another towel photo will be taken will be December 31st of 2022. I have a hard rule on that.
I mean,
What a hell of a way to bring in the new year.
A lot of towel photos recently. I've seen you all over the place. This shit is crazy. Like I
called
really
out.
At first I thought you were being serious, and I realized that the memes were not nonstop, and it was the same picture repurposed.
He's actually like, no, I'm not.
multiple times. Because I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe, no.
Look at all my I got 2 Starbucks today. We're caffeinated.
What?
What do you mean?
That was so random.
I looked at the thing and I was like, well, there's a water, there's water bottle, there's 2 Starbucks, there's a water, and then I have Italian sub courtesy of Guapo.
Yeah.
And Spice Girls.
What else you got?
What else is going on in that little corner there, Melissa?
We party in this corner. Chin, you can move to the kitty corner when you get back because I'm going to
All of a sudden, it's the kitty corner.
now that I'm not in it, it's a kitty corner because I'm obviously the most mature one on the show.
For sure.
That's clear.
Without a doubt.
I miss when people used to call me mature.
That happened?
Yeah, when I was 10.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You front-loaded
Very
your
mature
maturity.
for your age.
I'm basically the most mature person in this group,
Yes,
which
you are.
says a hell of a lot about the rest of you.
No, it says a lot about
a bunch
you.
of drinks.
What?
Before or after? a bunch
After
of
he
drinks?
drops down in rank.
I'm always sober.
As a mature man should be.
No, I meant on the podcast for the most part. We started off just drinking whiskey. Things started.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Now we got coffee and water.
You still have that mystery bounty bottle.
No, I gave it away.
You gave it away?
Yeah, I'm not drinking that nasty shit.
Jesus. Shout out to Brian Tinney, Blast
Shout
from the
out to
Past.
Brian.
Hit us with a
Brian
super
Tinney,
chat.
what up?
Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you here, my man. Shout out to DR Mamacita in the chat, keeping Chin in check as we fully expect. With
Are
that
we going to keep this bit
birthday?
going?
Oh, God, yeah.
This
with
bit never
that
died.
birthday hangover.
I tried.
Listen, every time this bit happens, Melissa and I just we share a stare
We
from
have
across the
page,
room.
yeah, and I tried to tell him it wasn't funny, and then he told me that I was bad at improv because I wasn't going with it.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Jimmy Fallon would do.
Definitely a Jimmy Fallon diva move.
Rule 1 of improv
Rule
is
1,
say
bit's not
yes.
funny. Rule 2, tell them they're bad at improv when they tell you the bit's not funny.
It's just say yes. That's
Yes and.
Yes and littering and. You think that's what that was born out of?
Yeah. Okay.
Why'd you stay in LA so long, man? We missed
Yeah,
you.
what were you doing?
What were you doing?
Those around,
That was a laundromat. Little laundromat
I did go
date.
to the laundromat.
Yeah, a little vlog of the laundromat.
Laundromat vlog.
It was funny. It was funny because he had the little video of the laundromat, and all I could see was that yellow cutoff going around and around and he wears all the time. Like, there's that famous cutoff.
Listen,
that yellow cutoff
okay,
that he loves.
I need to get something. I need to get something not off my chest, but I just have to make it clear. after I wear these clothes, I do my laundry.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not saying.
Do you think have people been saying you don't do your laundry?
No, but I just realized I wear the same thing so much. Like I have like 3 outfits because I only have I have to get more shorts. But after like gym, it'll take like 2 days of like building up clothes and then laundry, and then I'll
do laundry every 2 days.
Every couple of days, yeah.
No, I'm not
Just
hating
get
on
more
it. I wear this
clothes.
shirt probably like once a week on this show.
That's fine
But, yeah,
though.
I
But,
gotta get more
but
shorts.
washing your
People know
clothes
about
every
Poker
2
Out Loud.
days is wild.
Yeah, no, LA was great. Poker not so great. I was 0 for 4.
What were you doing other than poker?
Yeah. What do you mean? Poker was great.
Yeah, what was great
great?
outside of poker if you were in LA for so long?
You know, I was just having some experiences, I suppose. Dates, if you will.
Did you have your towel
I don't really
with
know
you?
if it's no towels.
You didn't have your towel with you?
No
No.
towels?
Towel was off.
No,
Oh, man.
just kind of one-off things, just kind of seeing what that's like. But
Getting that beak wet.
Some one-off
no,
things.
no wet beaks. Just more
Fingers.
self-loath. No fingers.
Okay.
More self-loathing. More
Without
lack of
you would
clarity.
describe that as great.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, I realized
Yeah.
yeah. I realize that like I have a very select amount of things that I want to care about at the moment, and I'm gonna focus on those, and then we'll move on. You know, a lot of overthinking on this side of the room.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of overthinking, but that's okay.
A lot of thinking, not a lot of doing.
A lot of thinking, not a lot of doing.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of doing. Because like for some reason, things can be going absolutely great, and I'll always think of a reason, or just something that completely doesn't exist as to why it's fucked up.
Oh, you're a self-sabotager.
Correct.
I'm not a self-sabotager, so I don't do anything to self-sabotage.
Well,
but
it sounds like you did.
I expect things
Inaction
to
is an action.
sabotage.
That's right. Say that again slower for the people in the back.
Inaction is an action.
Wow.
It's like when you're playing poker and you know you're supposed to barrel, but you don't. That's you chose not
Right.
to.
Right. I think the difference when it comes
Did
to
you forget
like,
the barrel this week?
He did.
I did.
You bet the flop. You bet the flop
Stop.
a lot.
And then got
Then you
raised.
give up on turn and river.
Yeah.
No,
What's up with that?
You're
Really
not one to give
exploited.
up, honestly.
I
It's
didn't
kinda- it's kinda
necessarily
bad.
give up. I gave up on myself because I
Right.
gave up on not knowing what the purpose of it all is.
There's
Wow,
so-
you got existential about
What's
it.
my-
there's so much
I mean,
room
it's just
for-
a turn bet. You don't need to get existential.
There's so much room for this to be funny, and I get sad every time it kicks back to
Oh fuck! The sound went out. The sound went out.
Oh, no.
Really? You
They
can't
got-
hear us?
I can hear you, but that's because I'm really, really using my ears right now. It's not through the headphones.
Guapo, jiggle the thing in the back, if you will.
Jiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Wait, it's back. Wait, it's back. Okay.
Okay. No jiggle
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, nothing necessary.
There we go.
But going back to that, I would think to like, what's my goal here? What's the purpose here? What am I trying to do?
You're just living life.
But
Triple barreling.
that's the thing is like, I don't know if I want to live that life.
Look, I got to tell you. All right,
What,
let me
life?
pause you for a second. As somebody who is a chronic overthinker and who spent most of his 20s overanalyzing every single situation and finding reasons to not experience things as opposed to just experiencing them fucking up and then learning from it, I have to tell you that one of the biggest downfalls, I think, of the current social landscape and the current internet age, where we just have information at our fingertips 24/7, and with that information comes a new guru every day telling you like what to focus on and how to live your life and everything. The biggest downfall to all this is you just stop like enjoying your youth.
Yeah.
You know, there's just like kids aren't outside playing anymore, and I know that we're
They're strategizing how to grow their brand.
right, and I know we're talking about, you know, getting fingers wet, but when you're in your 20s, that's considered playing, I think. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, just try some shit, man.
My fingers were getting wet in my early 20s. Now I'm over the hump. I'm out of the Leo DiCaprio age range. It was
Yeah.
a good run.
Yeah, you just graduated. It's unfortunate.
Well, actually, last year I graduated.
Mm.
I'm about to be
You
2
aged-
years removed
You
from
aged
it.
way out.
Way out.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
get
am
it.
like basically a senior citizen in his eyes.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the thing now, isn't it? Is the idea of just experiencing something, doing something. Because the difference between, call it like a poker thing, or like going on a date with someone, or not an effective date, so to speak, but you're hanging out in a one-on-one situation with someone and it's not implied to be a date or whatever, is that with a date, it involves somebody else. In poker, it just involves me and like my decisions. And sure, there's someone on the other side of it, but feelings don't get hurt, sort of thing.
Well,
It's a little different.
Depends
you know what
on your
I've seen
opponent,
some
I suppose.
Feelings
But
get hurt in
Sure,
poker.
people get emotional.
I
and
understand.
angry.
I understand what you're
You see where I'm
alluding
going
to.
from with this.
I understand what you're alluding to. I think that I think this is the general pushback with philosophy as a whole, and it's something that I'm wildly interested in. Something that I always, when I had an external elective, I would be sure to take a philosophy course or a theology course, something along those lines. But the problem is that philosophy at its core is just deep, thoughtful thinking, and that's great. That's absolutely great. But when you're doing it right, you land with more questions than answers,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really lead to a whole lot of action.
Yeah.
I left myself with a lot of questions
Yeah.
after a lot of things.
That was what I really did not enjoy about like taking philosophy classes, was just like, okay, well, where's the answers, guys? Are we gonna like get to some goals or what? And it's just like,
Well,
no, we're just gonna ponder it.
To be fair, I think that that's what's great about philosophy. I would argue that humans are most refined and at their best when they're process oriented over goal oriented. But I do think that it's applicable to like doing post-mortems on situations rather than a pre-plan.
I like to reach conclusions, and there's not a whole lot of that in philosophy.
Yeah, there's not a lot of that in life though.
Yeah, but I like to take it where I can.
Sure. But yeah, I think it's like much better served for just doing something and then looking back and be like, wow, I fucked that up.
Right.
And then spending some time with it and being like, okay, well, what could I have done different? Like, if you're going to be an overthinker, at least dissect stuff that you can't change.
Yeah. Well,
What do you mean?
Like, at least spend a bunch of time thinking about what's happened in the past so that you can prevent or alter your course.
Or make it
moving
more
forward.
aligned with you in the future.
Yeah, rather
how
than
you
trying to
wanna
actually
be.
control outcomes of pre-thinking.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
it's
Like, yeah.
That just seems like the difference when it comes to, I guess, like
The pre-thinking is more anxiety than anything.
relationships and like dating or like could be relationships. Is like, what's the process in that when it comes to, does that make sense? Like
If dating?
Yeah, like wherein lies the process? Like where's the process oriented thinking when it comes to dating?
Just being present, probably.
Yeah, I think that that's the point. Is if you define it as like a step-by-step process, then you're leaning more into the goal, right? Because the goal is easily or loosely defined, right?
It also implies that there's a wrong way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the process is just experience, right? It's
Yeah.
just like finding somebody that you actually want to spend time with that you care about
Yeah.
and doing so. And whatever you do to occupy that time is kind of between the two of you.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is you can have like a really good time with somebody and not make it like, well, that's the difference between like having, I guess, being platonic with someone and having a platonic relationship versus like a romantic relationship would be like.
Also, the difference between choosing the highest EV path and a winning EV path.
Who knows?
Like maybe that time spent is always plus EV,
Yeah.
but making the move is the highest EV option.
Yeah.
It
Gotta
depends
mix
on
in those overbet jams.
Yeah.
It depends what you're deciding is like. You have to know what you want, right?
No, you don't.
At least in some regards.
No.
Because
Sometimes it's a process of figuring it out.
what if you don't?
As you
What if
go.
the highest EV jam is not jamming? Like the highest EV play is not jamming.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get your hand slapped.
Yeah. You gotta kiss some frogs sometimes.
Yeah, you got a 3x pot jam sometimes, run into the nuts and say,
yeah.
maybe 100% was better.
Maybe maybe next time I'll consider that. outcome.
Maybe they always have it here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feels like I never have it anywhere.
we just
At least for now. I'll figure it out.
I ripped that Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole segment on how dating and overbet jamming river.
Well, maybe I'll have
correlates.
my live stream podcast date, and we can do one for Landon.
Now we're fucking talking.
What are we talking about here?
How I was gonna invite a Tinder or Hinge person to come on the show,
Oh, you
and
want
we'll
me to-
have our first date just on camera.
You want me to invite
And
someone?
maybe you could do that too.
I love this. I love this. I think like Landon and his date are in the kitty corner. You and your date.
Oh,
are
we're
in-
gonna do it at the same time?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you well, because here's what I think ultimately happens, and this is just good for the show. It's very bad for YouTube, but very good for the show.
It's okay. It's like I'm Jesus. I'm sacrificing myself.
I think at some point your dates either realize that they belong better together with each other,
Yeah.
or that you and Landon belong together.
Or
And
like maybe me with the girl and him with my guy.
hey, let's fucking
you
go.
know?
This is 2022. We don't
not gonna yuck
shy
their
about.
yum.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the best part of it is that we have enough mics and chairs where the rest of us can just serve as a panel of sorts.
Oh, you guys are going to be here.
Well, I think we could be like the Nick Lachey's.
This is like not what I had in mind. I thought that maybe, it would just be Guapo and then it was just me and my date. And we sort of just had a more of a private thing. You wanted it to be everyone.
Very private.
Yeah, it's
Very
sort of a private affair. I mean,
You're a little bit more experienced. I can see where that would work out. I think Landon's gonna need a little bit
panel?
more. Yeah, we're gonna need a panel.
we'll say objection.
Right. He's gonna like ask a
What
question.
he actually meant was, can I grab your boob?
This sounds like an actually terrifying idea, and I don't want to be a part of this as a panel.
I've already, I understand why you wouldn't want to do it. I've already thrown myself out to the wolves before, so I'm just like, what could go wrong? What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I don't disagree. Maybe we like put, we make it like
Do it for
dating
the
out
content.
loud.
There's
Dating out loud.
Yeah, so there's
Should we
a
wear
show.
noise canceling and then we can turn them on and talk about what we think about each other every now and then?
Yeah, like every.
So he's okay, but he's kind of boring. Okay, so yeah, tell me more about that.
That's where we'll jump in. We'll be like, okay, let's spice this up a little bit. You know.
So how do you feel about incest?
Yeah. Have you ever accidentally dated your sibling?
Yeah.
Have you heard this story?
I don't see how this could go wrong.
Is it the one that I put in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about it on yesterday's show, and I wanted to play the clip from the podcast they got pulled from. Just go ahead and run the clip for context sake there, Guapo.
For 6 years. Everyone got that right? Bio brother, 6 years. Okay, good. I am 30, and my brother is 32. I'm going to call him my boyfriend for the majority of the time.
Absolutely not.
While I type this. I feel weird about this. I was adopted as a baby, but I didn't know that I was adopted until I was in high school. I don't feel betrayed or care much. I love my parents, and my parents love me. Who cares if they aren't my real parents? My boyfriend was also adopted. And when we met, it was one of the first things we sort of bonded over. We both didn't learn we were adopted until later on, and we both were lucky and had good families. We weren't passed around from foster home to foster home. Our relationship was, and still is, great. We understood each other very fast. We were attracted to each other quickly. I've never met someone and felt immediate attraction and familiarity. Now, I know that comfort and familiarity is because he's my brother. Not my half-brother, my full brother. We've done everything a couple that has been together for 6 years could do.
Please.
We said we love each other, we've had sex, we've celebrated anniversaries, we've met each other's families. I'm just glad we both agreed early on that we don't want to have kids. So that has never happened. I don't want to deal with the health risks to raise a child and them know that their parents are siblings. I discovered it when we did a DNA test thing to see our ancestry and what exactly we are. I ordered 2 for us. We spit in the tube and sent it out.
Just cute couple things.
Yeah.
It took like a month for the results to come back, and I was excited to see what we were, but before I could even get to that, I saw that we were siblings. I was shocked, to say the least. I only just found out this information, and I haven't told my boyfriend. I'm really hoping they made a mistake, but things are kind of starting to make sense to me now. We always get the quote, "You guys look so alike." No! Or, quote, "He's the male version of you."
No.
Oh my God.
No. So bad.
Long before this test, we've always gotten compared. We always just laughed it off, but I have spent the morning looking at pictures of us together and realizing what we really are. We do look so alike. It's freaking me out, and I don't know what I should do. I still love my boyfriend/brother. And we have been together for 6 years. We have a house together and a whole comfortable life. I'm hoping that this test is wrong, and we will do a real test soon, but I'm panicking. I still see him as the love of my life.
Okay, but this is actually so crazy because what if you just found out that Justin is
So
your
to make a
brother?
long story short, that was not short.
Like,
The chat thinks this is fake.
I could see
I could see it being fake.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, it might be real, but it could easily.
Well, it's just the only reason that it's easier to fake is because the probability of two adopted siblings reconnecting that way is relatively low.
Right.
But if they got adopted out in the same area,
like a small town.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that. Like imagine if like somebody in Leechburg gives their kids up for adoption. The idea of like one of them landing at Kiski and one of them landing in Lower Burrell.
I think that's unlikely, though. I think like if, I don't know if you're adopted, does you stay that close to that area?
I don't know. I don't know like how adoption clinics work. Like if there are people coming from, like, I'm sure it's different than adopting a pet, but for sure, like when it comes to pets, your pets are almost always going to be pretty localized to where you adopted them from.
Yeah.
It's not like, a dog's going to come in from Florida.
No, right.
Like, we have a nice greyhound coming in from Tampa. You're going to love him, I promise. Yeah. Like, really need to give this big boy a home. It's so fucking wild.
If it's true.
Like, if it's
crazy.
true, even if it's like 1% that's true, what do you do? So, like, what we cut off there was they started, like, there was a couple on the show, and they started asking, like, what if you found out tomorrow that, like, Rob was your brother? And, like, they were engaged or whatever. She's like, I don't know. I mean, like, I love him, but...
As I said, the love just doesn't go away. Like,
right.
I mean, yeah, but you can definitely just be like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, you've never been dating someone and then just got the ick?
No. I've
definitely been.
Though.
They've been like they're kind of like an established like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the ick is only a girl thing. I don't think as guys we get the ick. We just get the I'm bored.
That'd be like if Michelle and I found out we were brother and sister.
We had an entire side conversation where we thought that was plausible.
Yeah. It's all falling into place.
Melissa was really heading the charge on it.
I said, oh, that's like Brian and Michelle. You guys do look alike. Yeah. But I think it's because you've been together so long.
That's
how you start to look alike?
That's what they thought. Mm-hmm. Then 23andMe came back.
Yeah.
We should maybe we should do the test just to make sure.
I have it.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I did it when I was 18.
What are you?
What do you mean? What am I? I'm half Japanese. That's what I thought.
What else? What's the other half?
Northern European.
Idiot from
You're
Northern
an idiot
European.
from Northern Europe.
Yeah, join the club.
British and Irish.
Okay, so you're a little bit of everything.
Half ginger.
Yeah. So you have red undertones, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
See, I don't want to do
I'm
it
the olive one.
because I'm 100% Italian, and I don't want anything to tell me different. Right? I don't want to like take the test and then find out, oh, you're half Italian and half French and half Swiss,
and you're a quarter Korean.
And Northern Korea.
That equals 100%.
Well, the thing is, I have like half of my family is from Northern Italy, which is very, very likely that they have French blood or Swiss or something else.
Sure.
Right? It's also close together. So it's very likely it'll come back not saying that I'm 100% Italian, and I'm not ready to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you your like genetic overlap. So like people who it's like, oh, this is probably your second cousin or something.
Not like actual individuals.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Their names and everything.
What?
Yeah.
You're talking about Ancestry.com.
On 23andMe.
Right? They tell you.
Yeah. You don't want to do Ancestry.com.
Why?
Do you know the background to this?
No.
Okay, so Ancestry.com was developed by the Church of Latter-day Saints or something within the Mormon community.
Really?
And it's because they have a belief that they can convert the past. They can convert those who have already died to Mormonism post-death.
Huh?
So they're developing a database of like all the lineages going back to the start of time, attempting to convert them all to Mormonism in death.
You're saying if I do Ancestry.com, the Mormons get my DNA?
Yeah.
Well, what are they gonna do with it?
Nothing, but
we don't know. There might be some inseminating people.
I also heard that like if it also gets like put into the the government's.
Well, yeah, they
so,
see
like,
all of our
if you
shit.
plan on, like,
they see the shit pictures of our shit we're taking. Like they could see
you plan
whatever
on,
they
like,
want.
you know, committing murder, then they're gonna find you.
Not if you don't take any shit pics.
I don't plan on committing murder. You've
That's
taken
good.
a shit pic in your life, I call.
I haven't.
You've never taken a shit picture.
No, 'cause-
ever.
No.
Your whole
Dick
life.
pic?
No.
No
You've
dick
never
pic.
taken a dick pic?
No.
Not even for yourself.
That's not
No.
true.
Come on, bro.
It is.
Why would you take a dick pic for yourself?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Your
Thank
dick's
you,
only going to
Melissa.
be that age for so long.
Thank you, Melissa.
I have so many photos. Don't hack my iCloud because it's not backed up.
I mean,
Because I don't want to pay $1 a month.
I have nothing against people doing it. I just have no need for that.
It's not a need thing, man.
It's not a need.
What
It's a
is it?
curiosity thing.
Yeah, be like, what would this look like from this
You
angle?
never wanted to know what your asshole looks like? Easy fix. Get a camera.
No, you just bend over in the mirror.
All right, no.
Speak for
No.
yourself.
You guys are
No.
ridiculous.
You can take a photo too if you want.
You guys are just unhinged individuals, and that's okay.
Well,
We
you
still
say
love
you don't know what your asshole looks like. What if it's spotted?
Yeah. What if it's
What
spotted?
if it's spotted?
What are you
I mean,
gonna
this-
do? You would never know.
This is more critical for.
That's, I can
You want a girl to see
my whole
for
life
the first time telling
without
you,
knowing
hey,
that
your
and be
asshole's
fine.
spotted
Why?
like a leopard.
Why would you not want to know about every part of your body? It's yours
just
for
want-
now.
It's
until-
yours.
the
You don't
end
want
of
to see
time.
every crevice.
What Berkey would look like in the mirror. Fucking. What the fuck?
I didn't say you should do it for an audience.
Well, he's probably like doing one of these. And like,
Yeah, I just scroll through
Yeah.
all the sexy pictures that I get, and I go, I think that pose will work.
Matt's got
yeah,
some.
well, that you were just like, I wonder what it looks like.
You've got some sync pics.
Zoom in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never worried about like grooming the
Yeah, what
areas
if
that
you?
you
What
can't
if?
see?
Okay, what if you had like two very long hairs?
Right.
I don't.
What if it's spotted like a leopard and you have two really long hairs and you would never know? And then some woman tells you, hey, you've never seen this before? You have an asshole spotted like a leopard.
Landon's over there wanting to shave his arms and legs, and he has no concern what his asshole looks like. Like, this is such a problem.
Yeah.
Don't put this on me, man.
You guys live in a completely different world than
This
I live
is.
in, I think.
I like that this
don't
is
know what's
all
happening
one
here.
existence. You know, we all live
Yeah.
I mean,
collectively in this existence.
if I could put a camera inside my body and like I would love to look what's going on in
Yeah,
there.
same. I've always wanted to be able to look inside my ears. I find that fascinating.
Yeah?
I don't know what they see, but I was like,
there's the little camera that you
Yeah,
can buy.
you can do that.
oh, I can't
Yeah,
look
you
at my own ears.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. You can connect it to your phone.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have this
Oh,
little
that's
fucking
sick.
camera. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I
You'll
would-
probably put it in your
I was gonna
asshole.
say I would put that so many crevices.
So you're gonna start getting internal
He's just gonna-
shitting videos
nooks
from
and
the-
crannies.
just gonna have ear pics and inner ear pics.
Corey
Guys,
says
I
he
got-
has one. You can't borrow it.
Guys,
Wow, Corey has one?
I got a crap on deck that you wouldn't believe, and I just sent a picture of like my colon.
This sounds just
I gotta
terrifying.
tell you, some things are just best left unseen.
I'm not so sure about that, man.
I would like. I want to see everything.
Yeah. You want to get your asshole bleached?
No,
Come on.
my asshole bleached.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Because I'm a
Get rid of those leopard spots.
1-year-old man who doesn't need to have his asshole.
You don't want Michelle to do that for you?
Have you had a
I don't think
prostate
she wants to.
inspection?
I think that's like a common courtesy.
Examination?
No, but at 45, you're supposed to get the first colonoscopy, so I'll be looking forward to that.
When did they start fingering your ass for you?
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, are you looking forward to it?
Jamin just had that.
You did.
50 definitely. It used to be 50 was when you should start, and now they lowered it to 45. So
I'm not doing it at 45, man. I live a healthy life. If they're going to take me, let them
listen,
fucking
man,
take me.
just do it.
Let them fucking take
This
me.
guy's talking about fucking sticking cameras up his asshole. He's like, well,
Yeah, that's
knock the
exactly
fuck
what a
on,
colonoscopy
man. Come
is.
on.
No.
Right.
No.
That's exactly what it is. They stick a camera up your ass and
Yeah.
take a look around.
Yeah, the difference is I'm trying to stick a camera like a quarter of an inch in.
They're sticking it
trying to
all
stick
the
it up to
way.
my throat.
Yeah.
No. That's an upper endoscopy.
Oh shit.
You can get them both done at the same time. It's called a double dip.
Of course it is.
Matt, did you get your blood work or no?
I'm going, well, I was going to go today after the pod, but I'm not going to have time, so I'll go tomorrow morning.
Oh, nice. Okay, can I just go?
No.
Fuck.
You need to get an
Yeah,
order.
you have to they have
Yeah.
to order it and then you go to the lab and get.
So much work.
Yeah. Especially when you don't drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that needs to be taken off the to-do list.
Yeah.
All right, the to-do list is
Lot of stuff.
dick pic, drive, and blood work.
In that order.
Yeah.
100% in that order.
Yeah.
Asshole. Look at your asshole.
You can
make sure your asshole is okay.
You can put
Listen,
the asshole at the bottom, but dick pic for sure.
45, get your colonoscopy. You eat a lot of red meat. Like, just do it.
Relax, Grandma.
Wow,
I'm gonna be fucking
colonoscopy
fine,
already,
okay?
would you? Or at least get your ass fingered by the guy.
That's
Not like you haven't done that before.
I mean, self-inflicted. You know, everybody will try sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
You fingered your butt?
Everybody has.
I've never fingered my butt.
I don't think everybody has.
Why not?
No.
It's there.
You never put anything in there?
No.
Nope.
I've cleaned my
But
asshole.
aren't you guys curious?
Same thing.
Aren't you guys curious about your P spot?
The P spot.
The prostate?
I'm
I
good.
don't know that we can reach that.
Yeah?
Yeah, didn't you ever
Yeah?
see American Pie 2?
Yeah. No. It was road trip, but I think that there's.
Stop, man, please, God, this is making me uncomfortable.
I thought that
Why
was
are you
just
holding your stomach? You
Everything
know?
makes you uncomfortable.
vomit.
All right, it's just a human body.
Talking about motherfucking vomiting. This motherfucker today
shit.
was brushing his
Why is he
teeth.
screaming?
Because
You're
this
a
is some
goddamn
real
motherfucker.
beef.
Yo, Berkey was brushing his teeth today. And Corey, I know you're out there. I want you to hear this. Yo, he
Is he
wants.
stroking out?
That is what you sounded like brushing your teeth today.
That's how he always brushes his teeth, at least from what I remember.
Yeah.
That is certainly not what I sound like.
What?
I cough.
They both do it, but they think that
no.
only like Conrad thinks Berkey does it, and Berkey thinks Conrad does it, but you both
No,
do it.
I know I do it.
I do
Yeah.
it. So, like,
Because
you're-
you actually vomit.
Look, you've heard both of us. There's just no way you could say they're synonymous.
You know what yours sounds like? It sounds like Walter White, but when he's in
Exactly.
denial of having lung cancer.
Exactly. That I will admit to. You're so spot on with that
It's the
analogy.
same fucking thing.
One time,
No, Conrad, it's not.
Oh my
One
god.
time Matt
yo.
was brushing his teeth and like just had the door open, and I was just in the kitchen and I heard the wretched sounds.
It's horrible.
And I was just like, I literally just was like, "Are you okay?"
I don't understand. It's just a very deep cough.
I agree.
but it's
'cause
sort of a
it's cough
gag.
quick- Yeah, because
No,
you're brushing
time
your
the
tongue.
fuck out. The
You're
craziest
brushing your
part
tongue.
about this.
Listen, you're brushing your tongue and you go deep, and then it's just you cough.
Yeah, you get a tickle.
I've done it and
but-
like scare the shit out of Michelle.
Why
It's so
aren't you
funny.
guys buying tongue scrapers? Like it seems like
Well, if
so
you
much
guys go
easier.
through so much when you're doing it, it just seems unnecessary.
I gotta tell you, if you didn't point it out, I wouldn't even notice anything. But like to equate it to what Conrad has.
Conrad actually vomits.
He has
It is
he has
the
an exorcism.
same
He actually has
fucking
bulimia.
thing.
Yeah, it's a full-blown exorcism
Yeah.
whenever he's brushing his
Does his
teeth.
head spin around?
The demons leave his body along with a bunch of vomit just being projectile all over the
It's like-
bathroom.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes when I brush my teeth, I get lightheaded.
Of course you do.
Why is
When I'm
this
brushing
an
my tongue.
extreme sport for you guys?
You're performing some
Doesn't have
sort
to
of
be
like
this way.
medical procedure on your
Do you
mouth.
guys use
and throat.
electric toothbrushes?
No, I have in
Maybe
the
you
past. I don't
should.
think they do
I
a
like
good
it.
job. I'm
They
not.
do way better.
I'm not a big
I
fan.
use
I
the
think they're too
disposable
soft.
ones that buzz. You know,
Oh, the Oral
The
B's.
Pulse,
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
called Pulse. Yeah,
I've had that in the past too. I like a firm brush.
I have
a
one
nice,
that
strong
has like a bunch
medium.
of different
I do
settings.
medium. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soft is hard is too much. Some start bleeding, and soft you feel like you're really not getting in there. enough.
Cursetter says, "I don't know why you guys are deep throating your
I know.
toothbrushes. I don't know
It's
why you're not.
crazy.
This is just good practice, Jamie. Okay, you know, unlike Conrad, I've reduced my gag reflex to about 0 at this point.
Sometimes
So
when you wake
It
up
is
in the
not
morning
about
and your
zero.
mouth is
Zero?
black,
Where do you
really
Doesn't
need to get in
sound
there.
like zero.
This is absurd.
Look,
This is
guys
fucking
like it when you
absurd.
cough.
You know from experience?
No,
or?
from watching porn.
Yeah, that's real life.
You mean it's not?
Yeah.
I thought there were just step siblings
I was gonna
fucking coast to coast.
No, there's real siblings, fucking obviously.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. All right, let's talk poker.
Yeah, let's move on.
Airball
yes.
Rick, Airball Rick,
Not yet.
Airball Rick.
Not
Not yet?
No,
Nope.
we're gonna give a highlight before we get to the Nick
right.
Airball stuff. I didn't watch much of either live stream yesterday, but Christian, who devours every single second of stream poker ever created.
Somehow he watches even if they're on at the same time.
Yeah, he's just double dipping, like just catches everything that happens.
All
He
right,
sent
yeah.
us a clip
Discount double dip.
of Schwan making the nuts on the turn,
Yep.
and then having the second nuts on the river.
Third, but folded.
Was it third?
Mm-hmm.
Well, second relative. I don't think. What was 10-7 was the other
10-7
one?
I just meant in absolute value. Third
Sure.
nuts, but sure.
Well, thanks for the correction.
You're
See,
welcome.
that is mansplaining.
No, it's not. You were just wrong.
I was just wrong. You're right. So
You know what? It's great to be back. I'm so happy to be back, guys.
I gave you a win. I said I was wrong.
Yeah,
He
that's
did.
actually like I'm
Yeah.
I'm still in shock that he just said you're right.
How'd it feel?
Okay. So the clip.
Publication Fearless, they give you like top 27 strip clubs.
She's gonna value on
And
herself.
They have ratings. It's very detailed, so you know what you're doing. Yeah. A lot of tattoos and emo. That's what I'm saying. That's what you would think that. And I would say Atlanta strip clubs are better, but Portland has more.
They're like celebrities out there, huh?
In Atlanta? Yeah. I mean, not only just for the dancers, but that's also how you get like your music dropped. You know, like if you break your song in a strip club, it becomes like a strip club anthem. Like you're
gonna say like you got
Diamonds all day.
no, not actually dance. No, if you're a musician, if you can get the DJs, if the strippers love your music, like everybody will love your music.
And
Not the
Schwan
conversation I planned on having.
finding the fold.
7-6.
The best player at the
Exact two
table. The only player at the table
I'll have a glass.
who
Sick
might
folds.
be capable of laying
You
that
must be
hand
so
down.
sad.
If I make it,
I gotta tell you, I don't know what you could do differently in that spot, but well, first, why didn't he shove? Why did he bet? Why did he? So she overbet the pot on the river. There was like I think 2,200 in there. She bet 3,000, and then he raised to 8,900 with 1,300 behind.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why we're not jamming here. It seems like that's the only size.
Right.
But do you think that had something to do with her fold?
No.
Like when you see the non-all-in raise, doesn't that just kind of appear more nutty?
He covered her, right?
I don't
no?
think
I
so.
don't think so. Because he's still at 1,300 behind after. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes people just don't want to go all in. They don't want all the money.
They're scared,
They
man.
think they think that they're gonna scare the other person off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
maybe.
it makes it look way stronger.
I have to tell you, I'm not folding straight here. This is legendary
same.
shit. Like she's just the best.
Sick, yeah.
But
She even says like, "Do you have like Queen 10 of diamonds?"
right, which is sick because like now we're assuming that like he just doesn't call the turn unless it's a combo draw of sorts.
Right.
But because she bet pot on the turn, I think, or near pot. I think she bet like 6 into 8, maybe.
Yeah.
It's such a sick fold, but it's like I don't think we put enough light on when players make these really great live decisions like this, because this stuff is so available live. We ran the hand earlier last week, I believe, or maybe it was on Monday this week, I can't recall, where Wesley ripped river for a big amount, maybe potish, it might have been actually like 3x pot. And Casino Eric had like ace-3 for trips and blocking like nothing really. And ultimately called, and I was like, well, Wesley could have these bluffs, and I start naming some like far-fetched ones, and Chin was very quick to just be like, he's not bluffing, man.
It's a 2x spot. He does 100 into 50.
Yeah.
And Chin's just like, he doesn't have any bluffs here, man. And it's like, yeah, he probably doesn't.
Like
he
making
legit just
folds like
doesn't.
that is harder than pulling the trigger on bluffs, in my opinion.
For you specifically, or just in the general populace, you think?
I don't know.
Because
For
I
me
think they kind of,
specifically it is.
yeah, I think they kind of correlate, right? Like, the reason why the fold is so hard is because the hand strength is worth so much.
Yeah.
But the reason why the fold is possible is because nobody pulls triggers.
I think there's also like a level of like sunken cost fallacy for sure that plays in.
Well, maybe, but I understand what you're saying, but you're saying in regards to paying attention to the fact that they're out of, like, they don't have bluffs.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, obviously, the hand just always calls.
Right. But in like instances where that they're no one bluffs.
Yeah. Maybe it's more of like taking it even a step further where it's not actually the monetary sunken cost, but it's like just a sheer emotional sunken cost. Like you had already emotionally planned to win this hand.
Yeah.
And then something happened where you're just like, what the fuck?
And then it's like so much, like it's just compared to your pot odds are just so good that you convince yourself like, oh, okay.
I wonder if that's like actually an occurrence. Like, I wonder if this would ever be testable, but do you think that like we start to get such a dopamine release prior to the river coming out that our expectations are so high in one direction, we can't
That's
really curb
definitely
it
a thing.
back?
Well, because dopamine's the thing that makes you want. So
Yeah.
your dopamine's just pumping out because you're like going to double up. I'm going to double up. And then like,
Yeah.
you know, the board changes,
Yeah.
but your brain's still prepped to double up.
Right. You just turn into a teenager.
It's impulse control. A lot of it.
Holding hands in public, and you're just like, I can't take it anymore. Like, I can't think. It's
Yeah.
just all over.
Yeah.
You understand.
Something like that.
You know.
No, poker's easy. Less so other things. Like when these things happen, then we like attach ourselves to an effective outcome, especially in poker. Where it's like, oh, I turned the nuts. I deserve to win the pot now. But like clearly given new information, especially after overbetting and then getting jammed on, and just having enough like trial and error to realize, oh, when I get jammed on, it's only the nuts. I don't have the stone nuts.
Well, that's
so
why it's so important
lose.
to have the plan
Yeah.
in place.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, this happened when Henry and I were playing in Barcelona, and I was just like, I'm gonna bet fold this top on the river.
Yeah.
And then I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, I really don't want to fold. And I'm just like, I'm gonna stick to my plan, because when I don't, it's not good. And then he shows me the nuts.
Think long, think wrong.
Yep.
See, look at that.
Wait, now to be clear, look, I understand what you're saying, but you're not folding 7-6 there.
No.
That wouldn't even have crossed your mind.
That's because
Me either. I'd be like, this guy could do this with 2 pair maybe, or a set.
And I think that's a step further than he would even take it. He would get shoved on, and he would just like call.
I would call fast, but I would expect to like get shown queen 10. I would call
Always?
still. I would call. I would expect to beat some value sometimes, like maybe a set, but that's probably just a lie. Like in real time, in that spot, I would think to myself, okay, he clearly has worse value, but he might just not have worse value.
He definitely does not have worse value.
So if he doesn't have worse value, then
you left 1,300 behind.
Yeah, then you should just fold.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Not saying I would.
I'm saying I don't even think like the thought process goes that far. Like us old timey regs, we will at least like moan that call in, right? Because we've just been hurt enough.
Yeah.
I could never fucking win here. This is so goddamn
I
stupid.
know.
Why do you have $1,300 behind?
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know what? I fucking hate you here.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of. It's a lot of
That's
you guys have a lot of like built up live trauma.
Yes,
You know?
100%.
It's like, okay, this thing happened. Sure, take my money, move on, chalk it up
Right.
next stand.
We would moan that one in hard, and half of us would find really great folds like Schwan, and then the other half of us would just always end up calling because second nuts type thing.
I think it's a little bit less. I mean, a lot less than half.
That call or that fold?
That are folding.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure. I honestly think it's like so personality based. Like I think that there are some personality types that just absolutely could never in a million years find a fold there. And then I think there are others like the tortoise that would struggle to find the call.
I fold as fast as he calls.
Right.
Wow.
No fucking way.
I'm just kidding, of course. I take 5-10 seconds, then I fold.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, that's because you like folding.
I mean,
No
I like.
fucking way. Brian got
I
ahead.
like,
He made
uh,
ahead with
I like
7-6. He's just not folding.
He probably folds pre. What do you mean? He doesn't even have 7-6.
That's fine.
Maybe I like saving money more than I like winning money.
Yeah, that's risk aversion.
Yeah.
Money
Well, it's the
saved
whole
is
thing
money earned.
playing not to lose versus playing to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? This is all very. It's all very. It comes back to me because that's
Poker
what I'm.
is synonymous for life in a lot of ways.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not playing to win.
That's why when we talk about this stuff, I always relate it to poker.
I know.
Because I'm like, well, you know, when you bluff, you're gonna run into
Yeah.
it a percentage of the time. Same with like getting rejected.
Yeah. Yeah, I play to not lose.
Also, he's like so singularly focused that that's the only language he could actually hear you in.
Right.
Well, that's something I'm good at, you know?
Right.
It's
Well,
easy to
because
relate things
you
when you're
like
good at it.
it's a sort of situation where you can take your own advice, because it's like you would tell someone, well, yeah, but that's, you know, you just have to do it.
Yeah. I guess the difference is like in poker, it's just money, but like with people, it's people, you know? Like myself included. And I feel differently about that.
Yeah. Feelings
I gotta
are
start
first.
playing to win, man.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I want to win. That's the thing. Do I want to win? I don't know.
What in the fuck is going on? What do you mean you don't know if you want to win? Obviously you want to win.
Yeah,
you
why
always
would you?
wanna
You
win.
wouldn't be going on a nationwide makeout tour if you did.
Well, that's because it makes no. There's a difference. Because that's because it makes me feel good because I never had this attention before.
This is also very important. Next time you're in the shower, stick your fingers up your ass. You'll get the answer that you're looking for.
I don't think that'll give me the answer.
Make sure you lube that thing up though first. Water is not a good lubricant.
Hey, Melissa, that's how you learn to take care of other people. You make those mistakes on yourself
your own
first.
ass?
Yeah, you make those mistakes on yourself first.
Huh.
There you go.
Ridiculous.
Right.
For me, it was learning what a fizzer is. Fisher?
Anal fissure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I found my fingers doing the dance down there. Like,
You had one?
Yeah, for like 6 years.
Wow. Did you have to get it removed?
No. It finally healed up after I.
Sometimes people have to get those removed.
You know, it's funny. I had it when I was. You would think it would come from like eating a lot of meat, or like.
I would think it would come from putting things in your butt.
No,
Yeah?
they're very, very common in men.
Yeah, because you guys be doing stuff up there. I know you guys have a spot.
No, that's not why. Hey, it's Matt. Hi, it's me again.
Hey, it's me, Matt. Oh,
Hello,
it's Matt. Matt Determined?
Yeah, Matt Determined. He's back. No. I think I'm not positive of this, but I assume it comes from like not having enough fiber in your diet, and you just have hard stool,
Okay.
and it just starts,
maybe.
have an impact. It's a paper cut for anybody who's.
Don't
it's
you
effectively
just eat
a paper
oatmeal
cut.
for like half your life?
So that's
How
what
the
I'm
fuck-
saying. Is ironically, you would think it would come from like eating a lot of meat and not enough vegetables or something along those lines. But when I had it was actually like when I was eating my worst diet. It was when I was a college athlete and I was just literally consuming 6,000 calories of anything I could get my hands on.
Oh.
And
You were pooping a lot. Big ones.
that's when all the pictures came.
Wow.
This show's off the rails.
Should have saved those bad boys up, man. you know?
Saved them in what? A bag?
No, not the actual physical shit, Melissa. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
My God, woman.
Jeez.
What's the matter with you? What is this article?
Here's so many people have tried butt stuff. It's more than what's on there because not everyone.
Is there an over under? What do you think?
60%.
No way, under. For sure, under.
Yeah.
I would say under. Let's see. What does it say?
Huh.
35.9% of women and 42.3% of men.
See, you guys be doing stuff.
Well, those numbers don't correlate.
Oh, it's higher for men because you guys have a P spot. It makes sense.
Well, it also makes sense because that's how gay sex happens.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But
some
girls
percentage.
use that hole too.
Well, some percentage of women are gay. Some percentage of men are gay.
Yeah.
The percentage of women who are gay probably aren't doing much butt stuff. The percentage of men are gay are only doing butt stuff.
Yeah.
Seems
True.
greater then.
Okay.
Learning a lot here today.
Now you know.
The more you,
Now you
know.
All right, let's get to more poker.
How did we get off? How did we get fucking intermissions of fucking anal shit?
Anuses
I'm not
versus
sure.
buttholes?
Oh, I remember. I don't want to talk about
You
it
told
though.
Landon to finger his ass in the shower.
Yeah, it'll give him all the answers he's looking for.
Yeah.
It won't.
It will. Just
No.
analyze it, bro. Just do it and analyze
Before
it.
Conrad, they share a shower.
Leave me,
Or maybe in your instance, analyze it.
leave me out of this.
Why are your headphones not on?
Well, half of them was on because the sound went out. But it's back.
it's back now.
I'm trying to figure out when it goes out now.
I'll get a better connector.
We'll
for
figure it
tomorrow.
out later. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I got you,
You're doing
man.
great.
I got you.
You're doing great.
Doing great.
So yesterday on Hustler Live, they had a rowdy one.
Airball Rick, Airball Rick, Airball Rick.
Why do you call him Airball Rick?
I don't know. Because during the All-Star game, I'm like, and then they had some guy named Airball Rick, and then I just stuck. I think it sounds better. I think you should consider
A name
changing
change.
it.
Changing
Yeah.
his entire name to Airball
Right.
Rick.
Yeah.
Based off Poo Dog's recommendation.
Yeah, Airball Rick.
It kind of reminds me of Rick from Big Mouth. Coach Rick.
Coach.
Rick.
Oh, that's Coach Steve.
Oh, it is Coach Steve.
That's Coach Steve.
What
There's
do
no
I know?
Rick.
I feel like there should
It's
be
Rick
a Rick
and Morty.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a Rick in Big Mouth.
No, it's Coach. It's Coach
no,
Steve.
no. Rick is the old hormone
Oh, that's
monster.
the hormone monster Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there definitely is a Rick. Of course,
Yeah.
that guy's great. If you haven't watched Big Mouth, you're missing out for sure. So anyway, it was 25, 50, 100. What? Big Mouth is great. Why are you shaking your head?
Okay.
You don't think Big Mouth is great?
No, I do.
No, go ahead.
It's just a funny little addition to our regularly scheduled programming.
What is happening right
what's
now?
The schedule?
Well, we were talking about Airball Rick, and then you went to Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick the hormone monster for Big Mouth. Yeah.
All right.
You've been there. You've seen it.
All right.
Sure. So Nick bought in for $500,000. This is the first game I've ever watched where Garrett didn't cover the table.
It's a lot of money.
Playing 50, 100, so they're sitting 5,000 big blinds.
Yeah,
deep.
a lot of big blinds.
It's a lot of big blinds.
Why did he do that?
Well, judging by the clip, it seemed like he just wanted to dick measure a little bit.
Okay. I haven't seen any of this, so whatever I react will be.
Okay, we'll put up the first clip where he's actually measuring his dick for his wife.
With Nikki Airball.
Wow. I'm awake now. How late are we playing tonight? I have to leave by 6:30.
6:30 in the morning?
a.m. So my wife can take a picture of my dick before she goes to work. In case anyone asks her how big it is.
I'm stupid, but I can't help but laugh every fucking time.
Garrett has very...
And some of you are less than pleased.
Heard it. It's okay.
Well, it had subtitles at least.
It did have subtitles, so we managed to to at least sneak that in. But oh wait, maybe we're all muted.
We're all muted.
Oh, we're all muted, Guapo.
What the fuck?
Oh, he said we're fine.
Nope, we're good.
Okay. F sound.
No sound. Audio down. Back.
So
it's back.
Okay.
Effectively, he bought it for a pile and seemed to have been doing a little drinking.
Yeah.
Got
and
it.
Apparently, he was high too.
Okay, well that's
on what, bath salts?
I don't know. Tuckman said that he was high, and this
All
is
right.
how people act when they're high or something.
It's not,
like that,
but
so.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll give him
okay,
that.
well, that's weird. So, anyway, his behavior was not great, all in all, and it kind of poses a question of how much does this stuff matter? Now, you've only seen the first clip, and he's just making a dick joke.
Mm-hmm.
As a woman who plays in these mid to low stakes games where this kind of stuff happens probably more often than not, how offensive on a scale of 1 to 10 do you find this type of stuff?
That specifically, like, not really. You know, I definitely am willing to make more passes. It just did naturally, because I'm there to make money, I'm willing to make more passes if the person is being very action. Yeah,
so that's kind of the first. Well, that's actually probably not the first point of discussion I want to have, but it is a discussion that I do want to have. Let's show the other clip because I think that this is probably a more egregious minute.
No shit. 300. 300. Yeah, fold your pussy shit, Ling Ling. Take your small dick to the restroom with Garrett, get it measured, and fold that shit.
Somebody take this guy out.
Someone take me out.
This game becomes so irresponsible. It's not
Do I
even
have to?
fun. Yeah.
Say something.
Yeah, say something. Yeah.
You say something.
I know you got.
Ling.
Just because you bought it in for 500K doesn't mean you're the boss here. Okay?
I am the boss here.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
In your
Who's
head.
the boss?
Nobody.
Yeah, it's fucking me. I'm the fucking boss. Mars, who's the boss? Very good.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that.
So I think like in watching that clip, Ling Lin is trying to roll with it.
She's trying to roll with it while also sort of checking him in a way that isn't like disruptive to the table harmony, even though that is what he is being. That's the spot where I would expect one of the other guys to back her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, you don't have to be a dick. Like,
all right, so let me lay it out because I think that this is super common, and I think this is a common gripe amongst women in the poker community as a whole. First, like when you're talking about low to mid stakes, no limit hold'em specifically, right? Because like what happens in the nosebleeds is it's generally going to be private.
Yeah.
So it's going to be behind closed doors, and that's a pretty self-policing arena anyway. That's not saying that it's more excusable there. It's just saying that like, you know, shit happens, whatever. When we're talking about like low to mid stakes, let's call it 1-3 no limit all the way up to 5-10 open games, things of that nature.
This is behavior you see a lot in like 1-3.
Yes. So these are the types of guys, and I don't want to qualify Nick Airball as anything. I don't know him personally. I'm just
Airball Rick, but yeah.
whatever. I'm just basing it off of what I watched last night. These are the type of guys who stumble in off the floor, that are drunk, that are losing, that got buried in the pits, that are in the mood to gamble, that spice a game up, right? And as a man, nobody could ever be so disruptive that I wouldn't just take the EV of the spot.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's nothing he could do or say that is going to be so off-putting to me personally.
I didn't like the way he was saying, like, I'm the boss. I didn't like that. And then just like the way he was like, I didn't like that.
Well, no, obviously it's
that
super
second
cringe.
one was no, not just cringe though. I really didn't like that one. I don't know, like I can't really put my finger on it, but it was just sort of a little too targety for me.
Yeah. So like, let me clarify. When I say there's nothing that could happen that will disrupt or be so disruptive to me that I wouldn't take the EV of the spot, I mean like me personally. Like he could never say or attack me as an individual personally enough to
like,
disrupt
is that
me.
a spot? Like, would you have said something there at that table during that interaction?
Yeah. Okay. So like, I didn't want to get into this early, but I will. So the way that I've handled these spots in the past, and the way that I think it's best for everybody involved to handle it, is to make yourself the target. Because like I'm a more capable.
Yeah, actually, that's what Conrad did for me.
Yeah, and I think it works really well. It doesn't solve the problem, obviously.
It works though. Like like if there's one woman at the table, that shouldn't be like the target of the drunk man's anger.
Of course,
and
totally agree.
If that is happening, divert that shit, because like
totally agree.
We just have there's an inherent like physical difference, and when there's an angry drunk man, you know, and you also just never know. Like it just could be like a really unpleasant thing for a woman to have to deal with, especially if none of the guys are like saying. It kind of upset me that none of the guys actually backed her up there, because she's clearly like you know, she's fighting back, but she is kind of scrambling, and it's like, hey, you know, maybe someone just say, all right, you know.
Well, okay, so like we're jumping kind of out of order how I wanted to do it, but that's fine. I can handle a curveball.
I don't know how you wanted to do it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that like the reason why I wanted to kind of frame first like what's your opinion of like just the overall atmosphere of people doing this is because there's other. So I agree that everybody's comfort level at the table should be paramount, right? Like, so there's no excusing this if even one person is uncomfortable. But what I also think happens is when you're playing for money, like Ling Lin is and everybody else, you're willing to make certain exceptions for people that are losing a lot of money, right? And I'm not saying that that's correct. I'm just saying like that absolutely does occur. So the third element to this is that I never want to be reductive to a woman in these scenarios either, right? So like I don't want to be the person who oversteps her to say like, hey man, leave her alone.
Well, you don't have to do it like that.
No, of course. I obviously I'm being exaggeratory, but I'm just trying to make the point of like there is a fine balance to strike between all these things.
Show solidarity.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say is like I think that the proper approach here, especially in the shoes of like, I'm not sure who else was in the game outside of Garrett.
Han was there.
Okay, yeah. So like when you're a reg in these spots and you recognize that like, okay, a lot of your money is coming from this guy and he is picking on this woman that I need to stand up for and need to create a good atmosphere for. I think the best way to do is deflect all the attention onto you. And the way, in my opinion, you don't do that necessarily by calling attention to the direct attack that he puts on her, because I think that amplifies it. I think if you like call out his exact behavior of like, hey, stop attacking her in that way, it only amplifies it, and it you know, in that nature, he'll just keep trying to push that boundary and you know, not really turn into a sparring war with you. I think the way to go about it is to just be obnoxious back to him, right? As somebody who's like bigger than he is in the game, as somebody who would be a target anyway, like you're playing a lot of pots together anyway, I would just immediately revert to like talking shit at him, talking shit on him, talking shit on behalf of Lynn.
Be relentless.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, it's just more so like in that moment, you feel very alone. And I'm not want to speak for her, but if I were her in that situation, I would feel very alone with everyone just sort of being silent and or laughing along. while he is clearly like targeting her in a pretty aggressive way. The only thing that would be required to make me feel better in that situation would just be some show of solidarity, like, hey, we got your back. We're not going to let this get out of hand.
Yeah, so I think
because like you never know with drunk people, especially like he's physically bigger than her. He's a drunk man, and like obviously she's like experienced and like she's been around poker for a long time, and she clearly can like handle herself verbally, but it still is just like really important to show that like you have that person's back. You have to, and the fact that the table was quiet is very disappointing to me.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the way to handle it within game. Now, with that said, that's not the correct approach to handling the situation as a whole, right? If we just saw this isolated incident as people who don't play poker and have no idea of like why they would want somebody like that in the game, we would simply say that the best way to handle this is for the casino itself to either have him removed or reprimand him in some sort of capacity.
So, I have a text from Nick. He said like their plan about this is that Nick will tweet an apology, they'll retweet it and say that they don't tolerate that behavior. Nick Vertucci so Airball Rick will tweet an apology. They'll retweet it and say they do not tolerate that behavior from dealers or players. He takes a week or 2 off, no drinking for him on stream, and if it happens again, he's out. He said we won't allow that on our stream.
Okay, that's great. It's good after the fact.
Yeah.
Retribution. I still want to put an emphasis though on like in real time, right? Because this happened for an extended period of time to the point where like Tuckman's commentary, you could tell it was palpable. Like he was acknowledging it. It becomes a little bit weird. So in real time, if we're just like third party onlookers who don't know anything about poker, we'll be like, why the fuck is this guy here? Go like, get him out.
Yeah.
You're in a public.
I mean, it's obvious he bought in for 500K and he's hammered. Like everyone wants some of that, but it's also like even not even addressing him directly, giving her a glance and being like, let me know if you need, like I got you. Just something really quick and simple. It doesn't have to be a big show of anything. But just to show that like you're not alone. I got your back if this gets out of hand. Like I got you. Like that's really like so goes way further than any of these grand gestures.
Yeah, I think that's like the best way to police in game. But if we were to remove that element and say like there's a certain onus to running a game in real time, what expectation is there, do you think, of Hustler stepping in, especially because this is a stream game? This is going out to hundreds of thousands of people when it's all said and done that see this. What onus do you think there is in real time to kind of come down, give him a warning, have the floor talk to him?
I mean, you can go and like sort of temperature check the table. Like, are you guys everything good here? Like, you guys need me to stick around for a bit, or?
Well, okay, I understand what you're saying. I guess like
that
why
can kind of temper things, and
why that level or why that layer though, instead of just like
immediately kicking him out?
Well, not necessarily immediately kicking him out.
Around him.
Not necessarily kicking him out. Right. So like that's the whole point that I keep coming back to is like but by saying that, like basically we're saying we put that as paramount over anybody's comfort.
To a degree. I mean, it's like I'm sure she wants to make money too, but it's also a matter of like not letting her just scramble by herself in those moments.
Right. So then why not, if you're a Hustler, just immediately step in and pull him aside and give him like a verbal warning or tell him to like...
You could.
That's what I'm asking. Like, where do we think that responsibility falls, if at all, on, the stream runner when it's a stream game or the regular casino? Because like there were talks when Jamie was on about bettering environments of giving like a dummy number to text that would alert the floor that there's like...
I think that once she's saying, can someone bust this guy? Can we get this guy out of here? Once she starts saying stuff like that...
Well, to be fair, that was the absolute last hand of the night.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So I guess I should add that context. But, I didn't watch the entire 6 hours, so I don't know how many signals like that were alluded to.
Because I've definitely had moments where I've felt like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. I wish somebody else would step in so I'm not further like targeted more. Because if you make it into a thing, then they're going to target you more. I've had many instances where, not many, but I've had a handful of instances where I've wished someone would step in, or I wished I knew someone at the table. Like I always talk about, even like with you guys in group chats and stuff, I talk about it's so I want to have a buffer person there. I always want to have, like, it's always feels better to have a buffer person just in case like things get out of hand and nobody steps in.
It seems tough because in some situations, like there'll be times where you want to handle something yourself individually, and then you're kind of asking the people around you to sort of intuit when it's not enough.
I mean, it's like
sense?
I never am offended if somebody wants to help.
Well, also that's why I was making the case that you provide the buffer by turning the attention to yourself rather than kind of like making the attention about her, right? There's a there's a huge difference in messaging. If you say, hey man, I don't appreciate the way that you're treating this, because now you're speaking on her behalf and like she may not want
like
that.
There was an instance where there was someone at the table when Conrad and I were playing, and he was being just like really verbally aggressive to me during hands, being like, you don't want to play with me, like have you ever played cards before? Do you even know what this means? Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, how come you're not talking to like the guys when you're in hands with them like that? And then he's like, what do you mean? And then Conrad's like, yeah, you don't talk to me when I'm in hands with you. You don't talk to me like that.
The situation had happened already, and then I had asked him, and I was like, wait, you didn't talk to me like you talked to her.
Yeah.
Like he was just like,
and that kind of, he sort of stumbled a little bit.
He didn't say
but like
a word
that's like
for
so important because it really changes like the power dynamic there, because it's like, oh, she has people backing her up. And unfortunately, there's a lot of guys who they'll only listen to other men. So we kind of need that. Like a lot of times these guys who are antagonistic will not listen to women. They'll only listen to men.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it's important to know your role within the atmosphere, and then to also handle it in a way that isn't reductive or worse on the woman in that particular instance. And I don't even necessarily think this has to apply to women. Like I've seen plenty of like weaker regs, and when I say weaker, I don't mean gameplay wise. I mean just like personality wise. People who just lend themselves to getting bullied, or just timid, like more timid. Yeah, they're timid, they don't fight back, whatever the case may be, and they just get like unnecessary shit. And like when that's the case, if you are one of the stronger personality types, like it's very important to not just necessarily go to bat for them, but to go to bat for them in a very indirect way of like, bring that to me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't dare say that to me, kind of stuff. And I say that about, like, I even mentioned
just to show, it's honestly like, it really is just to show them that like this isn't the boys club where we're ganging up on the girl. Like, let's just get that straight. Like, we have her back.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a dick.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely ways to step in and not even do something crazy and just be like, oh, let's calm down, like let's chill out. I can see this going like a certain way where like you don't have to take a full like hard stop of like, hey, like you're acting like this, like, and making it a big spectacle.
You actually do kind of like, you can't. There is no like, hey, can you calm down? Like, hey, like being nice about it. You have to like just turn it on them.
I think it just depends on the person that does it.
Well, it's all the same person.
It's not. If
It's
Garrett says something, it's different than someone else saying something. If Garrett
we're talking about the person that's doing it.
Yeah, like if Nick does something,
they're very like similar character.
If Nick does something and Garrett says in that spot, hey, like I think we should chill out, that's a different response.
If any of the guys said anything, it would be better than her fending for herself.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean I agree with that.
It's just different people.
Nick Bertucci says if he was there, it would have been handled. It falls on us. So they're taking responsibility for making sure that that situation doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think the overall conversation is a much more interesting one because, again, in these low-stake environments, like this is very common.
Yeah,
and
super common.
You don't like. We have to understand, or we at least have to acknowledge that incentives aren't aligned. That was the whole conversation that I was trying to build up here of kind of like presenting some for instances, because everybody at that table was making money from the abusive player. And that tends to be the general incentive when you sit down at a poker table. So that incentive still will often be the priority of the majority of the field.
Right, but I think it crosses a line when that player knows that that's happening. In this case, he did, because he's like, I'm the boss. I bought in for this much. He knew that that was the dynamic, and he was abusing it.
Yeah,
and
that
that's
happens
when it's just
and
of course that happens a lot, and it's just like.
So I guess like ultimately what I'm trying to arrive at is. I think that I think that it's important to bear in mind that incentive is in place, not because we have to be mindful of it or like follow it, but because there will be a lot of women in Ling Lin's shoes that would get upset if you chased him off. Right. Because they're just strong enough to hold their own.
That's why I'm suggesting, make eye contact with the woman, like mouth, like, you okay?
Yeah.
Get like check in.
Yeah.
Show that you're there.
I think coming up with like any sort of protocols on how to better handle these types of situations in scenarios where you understand that there is some onus, there is some responsibility to you as a player in the game to deal with it in a very tactful way. And also that, as the biggest winners in the game or whatever, there's also some responsibility to you to, let's call it, manage this type of player.
Yeah.
Right? Like figuring out ways as a third-party observer to generate boundaries so that everybody's in a profitable environment and a comfortable environment at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's like very important to talk about, because there will be plenty of people who just look at this and say, absolutely not, zero tolerance, get him the fuck out of there. Like the casino dropped the ball here by not removing him, and then every player in the game dropped the ball by not like standing out of their chair trying to fist fight this guy for the abusive behavior that he was. And that's all very true in a vacuum, but it's just not true when we think about the incentives as to why each individual sat down. And I'm not saying this as a means to slight any females or even any meek players who like can't stand up for themselves. I'm saying it in the sense that a lot of them understand where their money is coming from.
Yeah.
And we as humans just tolerate a lot of shit to earn more.
Yeah. Well, this happened one time at MGM. There was this like really loud guy who bought in for like 2K at 1-2 and was just like going crazy, and like the floor came over a couple of times to just sort of like be like, you guys good?
It was
you have a handsome boy, man.
Yeah.
He just came over, like gave a thumbs up, like kind of it like there's ways to just subtly sort of check if everything's cool, if the players are all good. Like everyone just gave a thumbs up and then they walked away.
Yeah, I think that that's really good. I also think it's like really important to, when I'm talking about this, I'm not just talking about the lower end of the boundary of just like we should all be tolerant of this terrible behavior. Right. I'm also talking about the upper end of the boundary of ensuring that this person who is giving away all of this free money isn't taking it to the step of I'm beyond reproach.
Yeah.
Because I'm the whale.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of guys, they buy in. Like this guy bought in for all this money, and he wanted to just like, act like that and say like, oh, well, I am the whale, so I get to do this. Right? Like at the end, I am the boss.
Yeah,
I am the boss. That's what he was saying. Yep. So like, it was very clear that it seemed that he definitely wanted to, use his whaleness, if you will, to act, to have that kind of behavior, which is that's not acceptable.
Yeah. Well, it's basically to create this power dynamic where it's like, I can say whatever I want to you and you can't do anything because like you want me here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right,
hey, I'm gonna leave if you try to like calm me
dickwad.
down. Yeah.
By the way, Airball, Rick, total dick move. At least show us the dick pic if you're going to talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the last thing that I think is probably worth touching on, maybe it's a moot point at this point because we've kind of covered everything, but I think it puts the commentator in an incredibly awkward situation, right? So like,
I would have loved to be commentating that.
Yeah. So, all right. So what do you think the responsibility is from the comment? Maybe responsibility is the wrong word, but like, what do you think the best approach is from the commentator's perspective when behavior like that's taking place? Because he obviously can't do anything about it. He's watching it on an hour delay. He can't like step out of the booth and say enough is enough.
I mean, you could just be honest. Why?
Well, I guess that's what I'm asking. Like, I think there are multiple approaches. I think you can ignore it. I think you can ask for table talk to be. Can I ever fucking get a full sentence out?
Probably not. But I don't think you can ignore it.
Okay, I think that you can. I think you could ask to ignore it. I think you could choose to ignore it. I think you could ask to have table talk silenced. I think you can obviously acknowledge it and make it.
Don't silence it. I don't think that's the way.
Fair. I also
make an example out of it. Just be like, this is what happens.
I think you can make an example of it. I think I can finish a sentence.
Well, would you hurry up with it then? I mean, my God. Get to the point.
Here.
We've said a lot of sentences in between.
I'm gonna start handing out fucking Ritalin before the show.
It's taking forever. I mean, I forget what you're even. Okay,
It's
go ahead.
because you're texting most of the time.
I'm not
and then
texting. I'm
jump
reading
in.
the chat.
I don't have any points left. We'll be back tomorrow at noonish.
Well, real quick, I think from like a commentator's perspective, I think you can like address it, acknowledge it, and like be like, okay, this is not right, so to speak. And then that's kind of all you can do because you don't have that much control, right? There's not much to do when you're speaking over something that's going on, as well as trying to like make your own.
You're on a
sort
platform and there's something controversial happening. You can make an example of it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the commentary, so I don't know.
It was like nonstop.
That's what I would do.
So I kind of like skimmed through it today, and it was like, I mean, Nick was he was obnoxious from like start to finish. He was not so like abused. Like at the end, that was like what the clip we showed was like the worst thing he did, and it gradually got worse. I think throughout as he was drinking.
I just didn't. That look in his eyes was a little demonic. I didn't like that.
And Tuck was definitely. He was acknowledging because you almost have to because the guy didn't shut up the whole time, right? And the chat is going crazy, and like Tuck said, half the chat loved him, half the chat hated him, you know. And so he's kind of just like saying, hey, like if you don't like it, like turn the volume down or do this or you know. And like Berkey said, there's really not a lot he can do to change anything.
Tough spot.
So it is a tough spot, for sure.
Nick actually tweeted already. He said, I'd like to apologize for getting out of line last night. I have apologized to the players and dealers. Won't be so obnoxious and drunk in the future.
That's good. So now we'll see if that holds true for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good start for sure.
All right.
We lost our host.
We'll see you guys. I'm done.
He's so over it.
I'm completely done. I don't want to talk anymore. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. I might be here. We'll see. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. We'll talk to you then.
Later.
Bye.